Hello everyone, today I'm reviewing Crumbling by Midair Thief. So Crumbling's about like 8 songs and it's a like 50, 45-ish minutes and it hits pretty hard on every single track, almost every single track, and I'll get into that very soon. I think the intro Y is a great intro that shows basically, in my opinion, the two main elements in this album. That being these super soft, kind of lo-fi, intimate moments that are contrasted by these explosive moments that are just super beautiful. If you listen to the album, you know what I'm going to talk about, but these explosive moments sound extremely colorful and lively and just really fun and just carefree, I guess, if I had to describe it. The first song perfectly encapsulates these two different sides, and that first drop into this beautiful explosion of color is probably one of the most magical moments on this entire album. And the word magical is probably how I describe a lot of this album. It feels magical, it feels very carefree and just fun. It's a really fun album to listen to, and the whole album puts me in a great mood when I'm listening to it. All the songs basically follow this sort of structure where they have a mix match between these more soft moments that build into these grand explosions of color and then go back to a soft moment, and then maybe they'll do it once more. It does get a tiny bit repetitive, but I think it's good enough where I don't really notice it that much, except on one track, which I will get into. The other thing that really stuck out to me in this album is the female vocals. Oh my God, the female vocals on this album are insane. They're so good, and they're definitely one of my favorite parts of the album is when the male vocalist and the female vocalist are just exchanging lines, and it just makes the whole album extremely beautiful. This exchange of male and female vocals is clearest on the third track, which I believe is pronounced Gamian Duet. I'm not sure, correct me in the comments, I don't know, but that is my favorite track by far. I just absolutely love the vocals from both male and female vocalists, and I think the instrumentals are just beautiful and match it perfectly. I think the 9-minute track Crumbling Together also works really well. It has kind of this larger, louder section, and then it almost dips to a very stripped back sound where it's just the guitar, the vocalist. It almost feels like we're submerged underwater during that part, and it makes for a very interesting part of the album that I don't really think any other part of the album kind of reaches the same sort of feeling. The outro of the album, unlike a lot of the other songs in this album, is not nearly as explosive or colorful as the rest. Instead, it's actually pretty laid back. It's very quiet and quaint, and it's also the shortest song in the album. I think this works really well though, because it's a very nice calming outro to what otherwise was an amazing explosive album. My only issue with the album is the song Dirt. I feel like Dirt is if you took all these ideas of the album, which I mentioned before, the explosive colorful parts and the more stripped back calmer parts, and just made it not as interesting. Dirt feels just like a less interesting version of the ideas that are on all the other tracks on this album. And in my opinion, it kind of just sticks out as a not as strong track compared to what otherwise is a fantastic track list on the entire album. Dirt's the only time on the album where I kind of felt bored during the slower parts. I thought the louder parts were fantastic, but on a lot of the other tracks, when there are these slower, calmer parts, I just find myself enjoying them. But on Dirt, they just kind of felt boring, and just the whole track felt a lot more basic in comparison to everything else the album presented. That being said though, that's really my only complaint about this album. I think it's absolutely beautiful, both the calm and loud parts, and overall it's just an incredibly fun, enjoyable, and carefree listen that I enjoyed a lot. And for those reasons, I'm going to give Crumbling by Midair Thief a 9 out of 10. That's what I thought about the album. What do you think about the album? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell me in the comments below, or say anything else. It doesn't really matter. Feel free to join the Discord server in the description. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.